And welcome to another edition of the Lowcountry Sports Report. As always, I'm joined by my friend, Mr. Justin Jarrett. What's going on, man?
Just a crazy week coming down off a great all-star baseball tournament. You may notice a little raspy voice from all that coaching, but it's great to be back in the studio. We got 2 weeks worth of sports news to catch up on, and I'm excited to share it with everybody.
So let's get right into it, man. Dade Stanley back at it again. It's my understanding he's going to a pretty big event.
Yeah, big youth weightlifting world championships. This is his last run at the youth level before he moves up to the junior level, so he's got big plans. You know, he's out in Anaheim, California right now. He's going to lift on Sunday, so you can keep an eye on locosports.com for results from that. And of course, we'll talk about it on our next episode. But you know, we love when CJ and Dade go out and lift. We love to keep track of them because awesome just to see those kids putting Buford on the world stage.
You know, CJ and Dade are both some of the most dominating Beaufort County athletes, but I had a chance to talk to another very dominating Beaufort County athlete, and that's Mr. Sam Gilman. You know, he had a wonderful year, man. What did you just overall senior year, how did it go for him in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think he probably feels like he could have been a little bit better in some of those things. You know, just because he's such a perfectionist who strives to be the best.
He's a gamer.
What a phenomenal athlete and what a phenomenal kid. I mean, yeah. I've talked to him before. I know you got to talk to him last week, and just an awesome kid. And you know, it's a testament to him, obviously, that he's choosing to go the Air Force Academy route. He could have gone and run just about anywhere he wanted, but that says a lot about him as a person, that he's going to the Air Force Academy, and I expect to continue to see big things out of him for many years to come. He's going to have a great college career, and who knows after that, you know, maybe the Olympics come calling.
You know, it's amazing, you know, just like CJ and Dade, he's the type of guy, he's going all over the country to these events. I mean, we were trying to get something booked with him, and he's like, oh, I can't do it this day, I'm leaving to go to Seattle for an event. And it's like really cool, and he's having success against some of the best runners in the entire country. So we're going to go over and we're going to talk to Sam Gilman and just find out a little more about him.
One day my dad was like, hey, do you and your brother want to go run this race out in Bluffton, just this little road 5K? And we're like, I mean, yeah, we didn't know what a 5K was. We didn't know how far it was. And we get into it. And I think I was 9 and he was 11. And we both ended up like running 21:30. And like, we didn't know if that was any good. But my dad was pretty excited. So we were like, yeah, that's great. You know, a couple years went by, we ran some road races here and there. Nothing really significant, just ran for fun. And then in high school, we decided, you know, we wanted to take it a bit more seriously. So my brother transferred over to Hilton Head High School a couple years before I did. And then I transferred over, and it really, you know, something that I'm most proud of is, you know, a couple years ago, setting the state record in the DMR, the distance medley relay. Setting the state record in the 4x mile was really great. Being able this year to win states in the mile and 800 was awesome. And then, you know, setting the state record in the mile this year too. Running, you know, really well, and being able to go out to Seattle and run was really great. But other than that, really just, you know, winning all those state titles with my teammates was really great. Because when you're running, it can be so hot and cold, and that's true in life too, you know? Some days you're having good days and some days you're having bad days. But I think it's important to stay steady and not freak out when something is going wrong, you know? When I'm having a bad workout, you know, I try to push through it, get through that workout, get through the run. And that's true, you know, if you're having a bad day, go through that day, get through the next day. Take it day by day, and I call it don't be a bipolar runner. It's where, you know, if something goes bad, you can't do it, and if something's going great, you're on top of the world. You know, what I try to do is just, I always keep my mind and head, I keep it level, I stay patient.
Had a wonderful time meeting Sam Gilman, really great kid, and I think he's got a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, sky's the limit for him. You know, obviously he works so hard, and his father is really dedicated to getting him out to all those big events where he can face, you know, top class talent, and yeah, it's awesome to watch him go out and compete on the big stage.
Most definitely, but it's time now. We're going to switch over sports, and we're going to a sport we haven't covered too much, and that is basketball. And it is that time. You've announced your local basketball team?
Yeah, finally.
Finally.
You may remember that basketball ended many months ago. Spring is a little bit crazy and wasn't able to get to it, trying to track down sponsors and things. But finally getting the all loco basketball teams out on the website. And, some tough decisions. We had a lot of talent in the area. On the boys' side, pretty easy choice for Coach of the Year, actually. Jerry Faulkner at Hilton Head Prep, winning a state championship. Legendary coach, finally gets his first state championship here in the Lowcountry. He's my Coach of the Year. The Player of the Year, also actually fairly easy choice, just because Rashamel Butler at Ridgeland Hardyville had a phenomenal season, took them to the state championship game for the second year in a row. He's going to play junior college ball up in New York, so he had a great season. Butler joined on the first team by his teammate Nigel Boozer, as well as Harry Cash from May River, Dawson Coleman from Buford Academy, and Avern Montague from Hilton Head Prep. So really strong first team there. Check out locosports.com to see the second team in the honorable mention, see who else made the team. But that's a quick rundown. On the girls' side, really tough choice for Coach of the Year because Kenny Conroy won a state championship at Hilton Head Christian Academy. But after, really thinking it over, I went with Jermaine Bigham from May River High School. The job that he did with that program in just their third season to make it to the third round of the playoffs, they did it with defense. That's coaching right there, just getting them to buy in to the defensive mentality. So he gets the nod. And Takai DeVore from John Paul II, the Player of the Year. She put up huge numbers. Granted, she did it against Skiza competition, but when they went and played Hilton Head High School, Class 4A region champ, she put up the biggest numbers on the court. So, she's a phenomenal talent, and expect big things from her. She's joined on the first team by Jasmine Campbell and Brielle McCarthy from Hilton Head Christian Academy, as well as Marlasia Westbrook from Ridgeland Hardyville and Trinity Feltner from Hilton Head High. So, again, check out the website to see the second team in the honorable mention, but that's the first team and the Player and Coach of the Year awards.
It's amazing. We really have some wonderful basketball talent here in Beaufort County, and all those players and coaches you mentioned absolutely deserve to be there. They all had amazing seasons. But Justin, we're going to take a quick little break, but when we come back, Matt Watts is going to be joined, and we're going to be talking some Beaufort County Park and Rec.
There's a smash to right field. That ball is way back. Gone. Nico Lang. So Beaufort County home run shot over the right field.
And welcome back to the Lowcountry Sports Report. Now, it's been a while, man, but he's back. Matt Watts, what's going on?
What's up, man? I didn't think you were ever going to invite me back.
I know. Harry was doing such a good job, but no, now we have some big tournaments coming up, a lot of summer sports rolling. Just give us a little update on how the summer sports have been.
Everything's been going great. We just actually started our summer basketball program. We have over, I think, right around 300 kids, both in Bluffton and Beaufort, that are playing together. Numbers are a little up from last year, so summer basketball is going well. We also, we have that high school summer lacrosse program for the boys. And that's actually, boomed this year. We actually have double the kids that we had last year. Beaufort, a lot of kids from Beaufort actually decided to sign up. So we have a program in Beaufort and a program in Bluffton this year. So everything's going great this summer sports-wise.
Now, I know Harry was talking about the camps you guys have. Mm-hmm. How have those been? Are the camps doing really well?
Doing well, yeah. We actually have only had a few as of now. We have a lot more during the July as well. We had our Challenger soccer camps, the Tetra Brazil and the British one that, they go back and forth from Bluffton and Beaufort. In July it'll be set, they'll go back and forth with those camps. We had our Scoops lacrosse camp. That was our first year doing it. Numbers were a little low, but it was our first year. We're definitely going to keep trying. It's a beginners lacrosse camp that we'll keep doing clinics for, hopefully in the fall as well. And then we also have our golf clinics. We had golf clinics last year for the youth, and we had it again this year, and they're going great. We had one last week that turned out well, was almost full, and this week's camp has been full. So we have one more coming in July that we're looking forward to, along with the 3 other soccer camps that we'll have.
Speaking of the camps, one camp that really got my attention is the Trementa FC soccer camp. So to my understanding, will some of the players from Trementa FC come out and assist in this camp?
Right. I'm not so sure if some of the players will, but I know some of the training staff, not probably the head coach or even maybe the
So
assistants.
people from the organization.
Will be there to help. Brad Neen, he's involved with some soccer camps. He's also involved with the Scoops lacrosse camp. He's the one that's put this together for us and came up with the idea. And I think it's going to be a really good thing.
It's a really good opportunity for any aspiring soccer players.
No, absolutely. You're exactly right.
That's awesome, though. So now let's go into some big tournaments, and one that we've been having, and that's the district tournaments for the Dixie softball. How were those?
Everything's been going good. We've been having Dixie youth baseball and Dixie softball district tournaments going on. Well, Dixie softball, our Angels, they actually won their district, so they have advanced to the state tournament. With the Ponytails, which is 11 and 12-year-old age group, they were the only team in our district, so they're automatically going to state. So 2 out of the 3 softball all-star programs are moving on, so that's great. Dixie youth baseball wise, we hosted the AAA and the Ozone district tournaments in Beaufort. Bluffton Bluffton National actually won the Ozone district tournament. So we'll actually have 2 teams from Bluffton that'll be here for the state tournament come July. And then Hilton Head actually won the AAA district tournament that we hosted. So they were a very good team. It was great baseball. Some late nights, the games went late, some of them, but we definitely had a good time hosting them.
What did you think of the play, man? Do we have some really good teams in this area? Like, just how would you say baseball as a total down here?
It's actually great, especially in Bluffton and Hilton Head. Some very strong baseball players at all ages. Our machine pitch team, which is 7 and 8-year-old for Bluffton, they're actually playing in their district tournament this week, and they have a very good chance of moving on to the state tournament as well. And Hilton Head always has a very good program, and as you can see, they've already had a team or 2 that have advanced to the state tournament. So down in our district with the Charleston area, some teams, Walterboro, Bluffton and Hilton Head and Beaufort can hang with all those programs.
That's fantastic. Now let's go on to Oscar Frazier. So what are some of the stronger teams that we should all look out for, and are teams that could potentially make a run and maybe win the thing?
There's usually a lot of the same teams, not every year, but usually throughout the age groups, do pretty well during the state tournaments. Bluffton has done well in the past. The team that we have as hosting this year, they were actually runner-up, a couple years ago in their state tournament for the AAA. So I look for Bluffton, one of the Bluffton teams, to have a good showing. Hartsville always has a strong program. Their Hartsville Northern team, I'm sure they'll be here for the Ozone State tournament. For the Dixie boys, Moncks Corner went to the World Series last year, so I have a feeling they're going to be pretty good, along with Lancaster. Lancaster always has a strong program for the Dixie boys. So teams, they come from 11 different districts throughout the state for both Dixie youth and the Ozones tournament we're hosting, along with the Dixie boys state tournament we're hosting. So it'll be some teams from anywhere from Greenville to Columbia. Probably Myrtle Beach will probably have a program here. So it's going to be some good baseball going on.
So for these teams to qualify to these upcoming tournaments, what if they had to win their district tournament? Like, what if they had to come in first place in that tournament to qualify for this one?
That's right. And some, they have to either win their district tournament, and there are, especially in Dixie boys, as you get older, sometimes it's harder for some districts to field a team. So we end up taking a runner-up from another district, but that's few and far between. Out of the, there going to be 36 teams that'll be here those 2 weeks for their state tournaments, at least 33 to 34 of them will have won their district.
That's awesome. So, and if they win, whoever wins this tournament now, they'll go to the World Series?
That's correct. Yeah, the World Series for the Dixie boys, the World Series is actually in Aiken this year.
Okay.
So whoever wins from the junior boys and the Dixie boys age groups will just move on to Aiken. I'm not sure where the World Series for Ozone will be held, but those will move on to World Series too.
So ultimately, we have some of the best baseball talent in the state. I mean, I guess the best players in the state at this age group are going to be here.
No, absolutely. Dixie,
awesome.
Yeah, Dixie youth baseball and Dixie boys are the strong organizations that most recreation departments are sanctioned by. There are some Little League and even some Babe Ruth organizations in Charleston, but for the most part in South Carolina, Dixie organizations are the one that most programs play with.
So I imagine that a lot of families are going to be here. A lot of people are going to come in this area. Do you want to talk about the economic impact that these tournaments have?
Oh, absolutely. It's huge. I mean, we're going to have, for the Ozone State Tournament, we'll have 180 players and coaches. What comes with that is, family members, not just, I guess, family members. You have parents, siblings, extended relatives, that come. They all have to come stay for as long as that team is probably in the tournament. So you're talking about upwards of, 10 to 15 hotel rooms alone that each team will probably be bringing to the area, along with all the money they spend at the convenience stores, restaurants, and whatnot. From what we've done in the past, it seems like the chamber has said that the economic impact's anywhere from $800,000 to $1 million for one of these tournaments, just one of them. So we're actually the chamber's gonna help us out again this year to make sure they do a study and recognize how much economic impact it actually has now, get a more recent number. And we'll release that information as soon as we get done with the state tournaments. But yeah, it's undeniable how valuable these tournaments are to the community.
Now, do you guys help these teams find the hotels, or is that something they just do on their own?
We put together a state tournament packet that is sent out to all of the district directors throughout the state, and from there, each time a team wins their district, they're given the tournament packet, which has information on hotel rooms, along with the hotels that we contact in the area. They usually give a pretty good rate for teams coming in. It has information about that, along with all restaurants in the area and activities they can do while they're here. We put all that in the packet for the teams to have.
They must really appreciate the fact that this year we don't have just 1 week of this, but we have 2 weeks of this. So I mean, that's even more people.
No, absolutely. All the sales directors that I've talked to from the hotels we're using, they're all extremely excited. They love when we post these tournaments.
Right. That's awesome. So now let's talk about volunteers. There's going to be a lot of teams coming in here, a lot of kids. I imagine you need a lot of volunteers.
No, absolutely. I mean, anywhere from scorekeeping to announcing. I know we always try to help you guys out whenever camera workers and we need play-by-play people for the county channel. So we definitely need volunteers. If anybody wants more information on how to volunteer, they can definitely contact me by email or phone. My phone number is 843-255-6686, or you can contact me by email at mwatts@bcgov.net.
Hey Matt, thank you so much for joining us, man. We're all looking really forward to these tournaments, but we're going to take a quick little break, but when we come back, JJ and I'll be breaking down some more local sports. And welcome back to the Lowcountry Sports Report. And Justin, at the top of the show, you mentioned you were really busy this past weekend with your district tournament for the team you coach. Let's really talk about that, and let's talk about the teams that are going to state. Me and Matt Watts just talked about it, and now you're going to come in as kind of like our analyst and break down what's about to happen.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, an amazing tournament for my boys. We were the second team out of Bluffton, and we made it all the way to the championship game. Actually knocked off the top Bluffton team once, and they came back and got us twice in the championship. So we're both going on to state. We're going to Florence July 5th through the 9th, and amazingly excited to take two teams. We did not get there easily. I'll tell you what, Hilton Head gave us a scrap. Beaufort played really tough. We got some amazing baseball players coming up here in Beaufort County, and that's at the 8 and under level. But it's not just there. Hilton Head Miners team, the 9 and 10-year-olds, a bunch of those kids who went to the World Series last year in the 8 and under are moving on to the state tournament as well. They knocked off a really good Bluffton American team to get there. I was a little surprised by that, but it just shows how good, how much talent there is here in Beaufort County. And then, of course, the Ozone tournament that we'll be hosting in Bluffton. Both Bluffton teams made it there. One of them had the host bid. The other one went and won their district tournament. So we've also got the Bluffton Angels softball team. That's the 9 and 10-year-olds. They're going on to the state tournament as well. So, Beaufort County going to be well represented in those state tournaments, and hopefully maybe one or more will make it to a World Series.
Do you think that the Beaufort County teams in the Ozone Tournament have a good chance at making some noise and getting the thing done?
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to know. You just don't know what those other teams from other parts of the state are going to look like. It's rare that we see them even in travel tournaments and things like that, because we usually stay down here in the Lowcountry area. But I know, what I do know is that those Ozone teams are very talented. The Bluffton American team that gets the host bid is just outstandingly talented. A bunch of those guys play on the Beaufort County Bombers team that is doing work up in Cooperstown, New York this week. Travel team with kids from throughout the county. They've been just destroying people at a big time tournament up in Cooperstown. So a bunch of those boys are on that Bluffton American team, and then the Bluffton National team, just like us, they're the underdogs. They're the second team, but they got it done in the district tournament, and I won't count any of those kids out, mine or the other national team. They believe that they can hang with anybody, and they've shown they can do it. So, you know, we saw the Dixie Boys World Series team win it all a few years ago, and we expect to see our Bluffton teams do very well in that state tournament.
How cool do you think it is for these kids to be able to play at a big tournament like this? I mean, they have all their games televised on television. They have commentators.
Yeah.
You know, I guess they get to feel kind of like they're a major league ball player somewhat.
Yeah, I mean, it goes a long way, too, in just boosting their confidence and developing their love of the game to have that experience. You know, we're really looking forward as a team being able to go to Florence as a team, stay in one hotel, you know, be together all the time. It's really helped mold us, you know, as a family and a team, and you know, we love each other. We love each other. We love the game, and we're having a heck of a lot of fun out there playing ball. And they're going to have a once-in-a-lifetime experience, you know, when you play in that state tournament. And like you mentioned, to have the county channel broadcasting all the games, what a cool feeling.
Absolutely. Well, we'll for sure be out there. You know, we'll cover all the games at Oscar Frazier, and you can watch them all on the county channel. But Justin, thank you so much for coming as always, man. But that's going to do it for us this week. Catch you again later.
Hey, I'm Josh Reddick, World Series champ, and you're watching the County Channel.
The County Channel is also available on video on demand. Go to BeaufortCountySC.gov, scroll down to Public Meetings, click Watch Now, and then click the Video on Demand button and select your program from the list.
Call the meeting to order.
If you'd like a DVD of this program, click on the link on the right and fill out the order form. And thank you for watching the County Channel.
Today's the 6th annual, Derby. We run this every year. It's probably one of our most exciting events we do every year with the kid participation included. So I know the kids that do come out here and participate, they have a blast doing it. For me, in the county, I know it's huge because it's the first time we get to do it with the new stadium complete. So that's a big accomplishment, a big step forward for this complex. You know, what Clarence Morgan really does and his staff to really make this day run, as well as my foundation staff. They do a great job.
It's our first time today actually hosting an event in the Josh Reddick Stadium, so that's pretty cool for us. And like I said, this is one of the events that Josh started, so I think that makes it a little bit more personal for us too, and for him to come out here and interact with the youth and the baseball side of things, I think it's something super cool for the kids to actually get to do with him. So that's awesome for us.
I mean, this stems back to the very first one I started out in Rincon. I didn't even have a foundation run. I think it was just me and a buddy of mine that was helping out at the time. So we went to the city of Rincon and approached it. We made it happen. It wasn't a big success yet, but that's how the things are with your first time. But it was something I always wanted to do, I believe, and I think this was always the first step to the first event to giving back to this county, and here we are, and it's one of our bigger ones.
All the money stays local for sure. 100% all goes back into the hometown that Josh and I were raised in. So I mean, it's super cool for both of us to be able to have a hand in something so special like that too. So.
Right now, we don't really have a set destination for it. You know, our big thing is we don't plan on one thing. We dish it out wherever it's needed. We sponsor the Navigator team, we sponsor the Faith Equestrian team, we've sponsored the Truland House. Those are our three big hitters, I think. But you know, we stretch it out to schools, we stretch it out fire department, police department, animal shelters, anywhere that needs help, they can contact us, and we're willing to take your phone call.
Anybody that I think if you have the chance or have the time to give back, I think you should. So, and the platform that we have created and have, I think it's awesome for us to be able to do what we do.
When you give back to where you came from, this is where it all started. This is your roots, and you know, this is what made you. This is how everything started for you. And you know, these kids are our future. They're our next generation of running this planet, and you know, that stems from right here in your hometown. You know, we got to start somewhere small, and anytime you can, you know, help these kids out, whether it be 1 to 10 kids, and if they come out of it in a positive manner, then you feel pretty accomplished about it. So that's the main reason. Anything about that, and you know, we see some of the older generation, you know, people my age and older coming out here and doing that as well. So it's for everybody, and we definitely get participants that we enjoy having. Hey all, thanks for coming out to my 6th annual 2018 Home Run Derby. We appreciate your support.
Council, and again, it's great to be back here and celebrating the bird's birthday another year, and I am so excited about the turnout, and I'm sure that you all will enjoy the rest of the festivities.
Hi, good morning. I'm Jerry Ashburn on Town Council. What a great day to celebrate the birthday for the birds. This is our 7th year doing this. What a great amenity here in downtown Port Royal. This is a great opportunity for everybody to see some nature and for us to do some real good things with water reclamation. I hope you get a chance to walk the area. And once again, thank you all for being here. I'll turn this over to our Mayor, Mayor Sam Murray.
Go ahead, Sam. Welcome again to our bird's birthday. I'm not going to hold up the show because it's getting a little warm out here, but at least we got good weather today. I'm going to have Pete come up, who is the brainchild behind this. So Pete, come on up and get people rolling.
All right.
Let's have a good day for Pete.
All righty. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate that. There's nothing like this on the South Carolina coast. It's unique. It's one of the wonderful points where you can go by here any time of day, night or day, and you will see people walking this thing with their dogs, walking it with their families. But I want to welcome you, and I wanted to thank all of our sponsors for years. Fripp Audubon, Master Naturals Programs, all of these folks have sponsored this thing, and it's all been volunteers all the way, so it's a great thing. Everybody got their kazoos. We're going to sing happy birthday.